Yeah, just talk about Kirby there at the end. Just some of those 3-2 pitches he makes. The moment, obviously not being too big for him. How big was that from him?
Yeah, warrior. It was big for him, but it was enormous for our club. And we had a long inning there, so Mark was throwing the ball really well for us, but we wanted to go to one of our key relievers that we had yet to use. And he just kind of gave you that feel good. And again, we talk about kind of taking ownership of the game, or for some reason I've thrown that out to you all a bunch. And it looked like he had a hold on things, and we just needed to play good defense behind him. And of course, if you're throwing strikes, you may give up a hit or two, but he was more than impressive.
Yeah, Tony, just kind of same old song and dance with this team, just battling through adversity. Just kind of what you see in that regard tonight, and kind of what flipped at the plate there midway through the game.
Yeah, the coaches were frustrated with a couple plays. I was frustrated with a decision on my own part. So, you kind of find yourself in that mode where it's like, wait a minute, this isn't. I don't have the mindset right now that we preach to our players, but the dugout was so good and the players had it right that it was kind of hard not to fall in line. And I'm sure there's guys on our team too who don't feel their best on a certain given day, or it's going tough, or they'd like to slam their helmet or be selfish. But when you're kind of the minority, because there's so many dang people that are just trying to win the game and kind of doing it in a fun way, again, you fall in line. So that's what I picked up on tonight. But as you said, it's been a theme for the guys, and it needs to stay that way. And there's other things, or other attributes we can add to that Rolodex of successful items that can help us win as we kind of march towards May.
All right, we'll go to Jordan next, and then Wes.
Hey, Tony, on Thursday, you said this team needed to decide what their persona was going to be going into the weekend after another series win. What do you feel like they have kind of said about their persona, and what have they decided it's going to be?
Yeah, determined. I think really determined. And I don't know what all gets said on Twitter or whatever else, but something is sparked in them to just really narrow their focus onto this weekend. And it hasn't been a whole lot of other talk. I mean, I'm sure the same deals for Florida, but there's been a little something going on with our guys. Again, we encourage them to talk and have leadership. So somewhere along the line, they've had a theme about being really determined about making things happen. And even though some guys launched some balls out of sight, like Hickey did on Friday, and we're down 3-0 tonight, and Alleman's throwing the ball like a big leaguer, they kept marching forward and kept that attitude. And like I said, it was kind of infectious, even for those like myself, that you always have doubts kind of creep into your head. But when you're outnumbered with guys that are that determined, that usually the bigger number wins out, I guess.
Yeah, Tony, how big were those moments there for Beck and for Pavoloni? I know that they've been guys who, just kind of hadn't been going their way a little bit lately. How big was that for them to get those hits?
I think huge. I'm glad you brought it up, because it kind of got lost in the mix of all the riffraff here at the end of the game. And it's just finding a way to get it done. And if Jordan Beck comes with a lot of accolades out of high school and so much potential, and the guys kind of see him as different with what he can do as far as impacting a baseball and how athletic he is. And they're right. But most of the other guys here in this program are just get it done guys. And, when you get wrapped up in trying to do things, at a real, high level, or trying to put up big numbers or anything like that, for lack of a better phrase, it helps to just come down to, what do I got to do to just get this thing done? And then, things will open up a little bit. And now, not only are you just moving a runner, but you drive them in. Not only are you getting on base, but you feel good about yourself in the next at bat. You do drive the ball in a gap. So I think staying true to your roots is key for a lot of these kids to find their best baseball as we do kind of move towards May. And the ones that are playing best for us, either on the mound or at the plate, are the guys who they're just trying to find a way. And not that anyone else isn't, but there's been some fluctuation for some guys. And there's two moments for those guys that need to stick or kind of be embedded in their head and realize, hey, just get in here and try and get something done for the team, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right, we'll go back to Ryan and then back to Jordan.
How crucial was it what Mark was able to do to come in there, get out of the inning, and then kind of keep y'all in the game as the offense was struggling?
Yeah, he was really sharp. And I think, he gets a little more and more comfortable each time he's out there in SEC games. If you look at his overall experience level, I mean, it's kind of like you're throwing a freshman out there based off innings, but off stuff and ability, and now his comfort level. I would trust him in any situation to start long relief, middle relief, short relief, and even at the end of a game. And he's earned that. And tonight is one more night where it's a little bit of a feather in his cap and a trust builder amongst his teammates and coaches.
Tony, tonight's win was the first time since 1970 that the Vols have won their first 4 SEC series. How do you just kind of balance appreciating the history that this team is making, but also not letting it get lost in kind of your big picture goals?
Yeah, I mean, no arrogance to this comment at all, but since, our coaching staff took over here, there's been a lot of firsts, knocking down walls and first expanding this, having artificial surface. So it's not all about, I'm not saying we've broken a bunch of records or anything like that. There's guys like Helton and Burke here that's going to be pretty tough to do that. But there's been a theme of the first time in a while for regional, or the first this or first that. And I think it just kind of goes to the newness of our approach and our coaching staff and current players kind of putting their spin on the program. So it sticks with that theme. And then as far as where we're at in the big scheme of things, again, it's kind of April, and preseason, midseason, all that stuff gets forgotten pretty quickly. Everybody knows what the Tampa Bay Bucks did at the end of the year. There's probably a game in there somewhere that was messy in the first half, and there may even been a team winning the division. And I'm no Bucks fan, so I don't know all the history. Just trying to illustrate a point that we're still looking for our best baseball. And we are in an absolute gauntlet of a conference, right in the thick of it. So the best thing to do is just kind of look ahead to what the next thing is. And that happens to be a Sunday game against Florida and a guy who's going to be a millionaire when he's done pitching there.
We'll go to Ben next.
Tony, you touched into your youthful side there after the game when you were running out to the huddle. And did you stick that landing, and just kind of what was your message to the team, and kind of how cool was that moment?
Sorry to cut you off. You hit a sore spot. Literally, my ankle hurts. But those guys do the SEC network does a phenomenal job covering, our conference, and it builds it up in recruiting. And I think kids see that and they realize it is different in a really positive way. So anytime you get tapped on the shoulder and get involved in one of those broadcasts, it's nice. Probably should have interviewed Kirby, but I'm talking to them while the guys are waiting forever for me out there. I would have made it a real quick one tonight because we've got a quick turnaround. But when you got everybody standing there waiting and clapping, I don't really know what there is to do. I guess I could have got in there and done a dance move or something like that, but it wouldn't have been pretty. I specialize in wedding dancing only, and it's pretty sloppy.
All right, we'll take one more. We'll finish with Wes.
Yeah, Tony, were you kind of happy things didn't get a little bit squirrely there in the third inning? It looked like when Liam got that one kind of high and tight and then got plunked again 2 pitches later. That's the kind of thing that can in this conference can get things heated. Were you happy that kind of things stayed calm then?
Yeah, I think so. There were a couple guys in our dugout that just want to defend their teammate, but really if you look at what's going on with Aleman, he is a long dude and it's a low slot. So it wasn't the first time in the game he missed arm side. Now, they're probably trying to go in and jam a guy that's been on base a bunch against them and basically try something new. But even if they weren't, I haven't seen the video obviously yet. If you kind of relax and view the situation for what it is, you got a long arm guy that's throwing from a low slot, on the righty side of the body. There's my diagram right there. He can throw a lot better than I can. But no, it's been another theme of the group is – they use anything they can for motivation or fuel, but they also, as much as you guys have seen some hooting and hollering going on with our games, they do a pretty good job of making sure their head is in the right place for the next pitch, even though in between pitches, there might have been some chaos.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Get you some sleep.